you alone interested in drawing us, maybe we will have the causes, past causes. So past causes will condition to meet together and to join the class. So that means past causes condition to meet us and to learn meditation, so you can listen and you can hear about the Dhamma. So hearing about the Dhamma is present result. This means seeing, hearing, smelling, tasting, touching, and thought are just the result of past action with ignorance. So, at the present happening, in present result, we should be mindful with right understanding. Maybe you cannot be mindful with right understanding of the present result. That become the ignorance and attachment. That ignorance and attachment will cause the present causes. In form and nature, two are generally present result. Form and nature, consciousness, feeling, perception, volition. Consciousness and feeling are the present result. Maybe you cannot have the right understanding and you do not meditate. These perception and volition will become the present causes. So in form and nature, two is the present result. But you can be mindful with right understanding the other two cannot be the present causes. Maybe you cannot be mindful with right understanding of the present result. Perception may be wrong and volition may be negative, and it will cause the present condition, present causes, and then it will leave the result in the future.
The present result is feeling and
Consciousness, yes.
Present cause is sankhara and
Yes,
perception.
Perception is correct, and it will be liberated. If your perception is wrong, it will cause attachment and it will cause karma, and it will produce the result in the future.
Feeling cannot be present cause.
Feeling is how to say?
Cannot be present cause.
Feeling is the present result. If you cannot understand the present feeling in the right way, it will become the present causes. If you can understand the present feeling in the right way, it cannot be causes.
So the feeling cannot be present cause.
Present cannot be present cause. In Parija Samopara, feeling is the result of contact, phasa, pichya, vedana. Phasa and vedana are present result. Because even the enlightened person can have the unpleasant feeling and present feeling. For the Buddha, someone can make the Buddha paintings, maybe his cousin trying to assassinate with a pistol, you know, about his story.
A stone.
Pistol. So if he can feel pain, that means a pleasant feeling can arise. So even the another person can cause the pain, can feel the pain, can feel the unpleasant situation. But regarding to these unpleasant situation, they will not produce anger or mental impurities.
Feeling Vienna. Cause feeling.
Vedana we translate feeling.
Feeling Vedana.
Phassa is the content and producing of consciousness. We call phassa. They are the result of past causes.
So quite hard to understand, must think.
If react means become cause. Not react means it's a result.
That means we should not react with impurities. We should not react with wrong understanding.
So the right understanding of present result is to know that its physical nature, mental nature is arising, disappearing. So right understanding.
A right understanding is
present result.
a right understanding is
That
that
they are
means
nature.
we should have the right understanding and detachment. We should have the mindfulness, we should have the right understanding, and we should have the detachment about the present result. If we cannot have the right understanding and detachment about the present result, it will condition the attachment. Attachment is the present causes.
That means if we don't understand the present
Result?
is mental nature or physical nature, we thought it's I.
Yes.
So it lead to attachment
Yes. So,
to the I.
yes. For non-meditator, every moment is producing the present causes. You are doing any action with the wrong understanding and attachment. So for non-meditator, so every moment is creating the present causes, sankhara, with ignorance. So that means for non-meditators, samsara will never end, rebirth will never end, because every moment is producing the karma, sankhara, and defilements. So we should learn and practice meditation to stop the end of to stop the process of physical and mental process.
yesterday we say the sankhara leads to the karma.
Sankhara? Yes.
Sankhara can be positive or negative.
Negative, yes.
It leads to the karma.
Yes, yes.
That's why it never end the cycle.
Yes, yes.
Keep coming, keep coming.
Sankhara means coming action. Coming action means the potential that will give the result in the future.
So if we have a right understanding, then we will stop the sankhara.
Yes, we will stop the sankhara, coming action,
so there's no karma.
and no result in the future.
No result in the future.
What is the result in the future?
Just now I asked a question. Right? Just now I asked what happened to present, future. Huh? Future, right? You said
Yes, yes.
future result.
What is the future result if we do not meditate?
Continue on causes.
Yes, continue the causes, and then what is the result in the future?
Result of the future. Feeling and consciousness.
Yes, the result in the future is yes, the impermanent nature of physical and mental process. Physical and mental nature. That is what is truly result in the future. But why we are worried about the future? Because we do not understand the future result is nothing but the physical. Generally, we do not understand the present result, so we do not understand about the future result. Future result is also nothing but physical and mental process, just impermanent nature, imperfect nature. But some people worry about the future, what will happen in our future. From the view of greater truth, the future result can be successful life or a failure life, that is good life or bad life, that is a good situation or bad situation. So, future is not certain from the view of greater truth. From the view of original truth, future is
just nature.
just the impermanent nature of physical and mental process, physical and mental energies.
Same as the present result.
Yes, same as the present result.
That's the number 2.
Yes, same as the present result means not the exactly same,
Yeah.
the similar qualities. It is not the previous,
It's not the same thing, but
it's
it's
not the same thing arising.
similar character, right?
A similar character, similar arising. But they are not the same thing reappear. Same one reappear.
So maybe a lot of Tibetan Buddhism misunderstand the reincarnation. They say the teacher have rebirth and come back.
Yes.
Anyway, it's very controversial.
Yes, to understand like it, we
Does Paticca Samuppada explain it?
yes,
Yeah, because
maybe now maybe I came here. Maybe I will have, let's see, I will have the strong attachment about the maybe single girl. Maybe tonight I will be nearly dead. So maybe at the moment of death, I have strong attachment about a single place or single people or single girl. Maybe, how to say, generally I can say my attachment or my karma very great to reborn in single woman. So generally, I can say I am reincarnation. I will be reborn as a Singaporean. But if you consider at the moment of death, my soul is coming out and it enters to the single mother, single woman. That is not correct. It is not the transmigration or movement from the one place to another place.
Condition.
But then maybe the last mind in this very life, the last attachment or the last mind appear and disappear totally around moment. It cannot reappear again in another place or in another time. But the last mind or the last attachment in this very life will disappear totally around moment, but it can condition new consciousness or new rebirth appear in suitable place. I give the example about these concepts to understand. I will transfer the money from the bank. Maybe you transfer your money from Singapore to your mother, Malaysia. You can import your money into the bank. They do not carry the money to your mother place. So maybe they will process your money here. They will finish here. But you import $100 and they can also import $100. So $100, they are a similar amount, but they are not the same money. If you consider the same one, the same things are moving along the timeline, that is wrong. But at the same time, you consider the present inputting has no result in future or in another place, that is also wrong. So it is not the movement or transmigration of one thing or one mind, but it is the conditioning or appearing and disappearing of mental nature.
Sorry, but it's totally new
So
person.
the present moment or the future arising is totally new. But the totally new one cannot arise by itself. That totally new one can arise depending on the past condition, past causes.
The condition cause the result.
Condition?
Cause the result.
Yes. For example, honestly, now I'm teaching about the Dhamma, so you try to catch some words. Maybe consciousness, maybe you hear about my teaching, so hearing, thinking, thought, feeling appear and disappear. Sometimes you cannot remember. Sometimes you can remember. Remembering means it is not keeping in some way. Honestly. But honestly, now now you can have some knowing about the Dhamma, about the thing, honestly, thinking about the Dhamma. It does not go through to tomorrow or next year. They will appear and disappear at the present moment. But maybe next year I will come here. Maybe we will meet again and I will discuss again. But you are more clearing and more recognizing than before. So that means the present result is totally new. But it can happen depending on the past causes. So, for example, honestly, now we will discuss about some facts. Now, you will have some thinking, some understanding. maybe how to say, I will go back to Myanmar, maybe 1 day, 2 day, 3 day, 1 month, you cannot meditate, and maybe you have a lot of busy, and you are be busy a lot. Maybe 3 months later, you remember, I need to practice, I need to have about the meditation. So at the moment of meditation, maybe you can remember again about the what I say, or some facts about the Dharma. So that is not the revealing of the
Totally new.
previous knowledge. Previous knowledge cannot reveal again. It has already gone. That previous knowledge that has already gone will condition present understanding or present remembering about Dharma to arise. So we should understand any kind of mental state, thought, thinking. And sometimes, if you meditate, you have some kind of thinking. Do you have some thinking at the meditation time?
Now less.
Yes,
Last time, yes.
yes, maybe some meditators complain they will have some thoughts, some same thoughts appear again and again. In fact, there is not the previous thought or the same thought reappearing again, but maybe he will have some kind of attachment, strong attachment about that issue. So the previous attachment that has already gone is affecting the same, not the same thought, the similar thought appear again. So that means the present thought is totally new every moment, right? It can arise depending on the past attachment. Present result is totally new, but it is it can arise depending on the condition of past causes. Without the conditioning of past causes, it cannot arise as a new one at the present moment. On the same way, if we cannot understand and if we cannot detach about the present moment result, it becomes the present attachment or present causes that will give the result in the future. So that means every moment we should be mindful with right understanding and detach. Because if we cannot be mindful with right understanding and we cannot detach, it is producing the karma, or it is producing the ignorance and attachment that are the present causes.
We can also cause good thing to happen.
Yes. Yes, there are 3 kinds of mental impurities. Lobha, dosa, moha. We call akusala. Akusala and dosa. Lobha, dosa, moha. If we can be mindful with right understanding, it will develop the kusala. Kusala means non-greed, non-anger, non-ignorance. Non-greed, non-anger
Non-great, non-anger.
can give the good result but they cannot lead to liberation.
Oh.
Yes. So generally, dana sila cannot lead to only that they will give the good results, but they cannot lead to the liberation from samsara. Because they cannot stop their ignorance. So that means some kusala, non-greed, non-anger, only cannot lead to liberation, but non-ignorance, non-delusion can lead to the liberation from samsara. Or
So akusala is the great hatred delusion.
yes, yes.
Moha, loba.
Lova, dosa, moha. Samsakara can be with kusala. Sankara, samsakara can be the positive.
But it cannot lead to liberation.
Liberation. So the action with non-greed also sankara. Action with non-anger is also sankara. But action with non-ignorance cannot be the sankara. Action with non-ignorance, that means action with right understanding, will lead to liberation, will not lead to sankara.
Then what leads to liberation?
Sorry?
What leads to liberation?
The action with non-ignorance. Non-ignorance means right understanding, detachment,
So
and
right understanding plus mindfulness.
plus detachment are non-ignorance.
But right understanding means non-detachment.
Understand. But they have to detach. Right?
Huh?
Detachment is very important because let go, right? Let go all the
Right understanding means you let go.
Yes, yes. The more right understanding, the more you can let go.
let go.
The wrong understanding, the more wrong understanding, you have more attachment.
Kusala is a non-greed, non-ignorant,
Non-delusion.
non-delusion.
Non-delusion means right understanding.
Amoha.
Called amoha.
Oh. Opposite.
Non-delusion
Just put
opposite.
Ah,
Non-ignorance.
Kusala, akusala.
Right. Means not.
Aloha, adosa, amoha.
This right understanding then leads to right view, right? Right.
Yeah, right view and right understanding are similar.
Same.
Similar. Samadhi.
Ah,
Samadhi we translate.
four
Right.
noble truth. Eight noble truth. Huh? Right view, right action.
Right.
same-
Yes,
same-
that is one of the Noble Eightfold
one
parts.
eight, yeah. When you read to
Right view,
and review,
right understanding, right analyzing.
Four noble truth.
Huh?
Four noble truth.
What Noble Truth? Noble Eightfold parts.
Eight.
Same.
And right view, right understanding, right view, right mindfulness are the factors of Noble Eightfold parts.
It's the same one, right?
But that is the truth of the weight of any the suffering.
Mega Satcha.
Hmm?
Mega Satcha. Mega Satcha. Understanding.
Can I ask you, so in Vipassana meditation, we are thinking about all this, is it?
Yes, to detach, we need to analyze. Yes, we need to
So in
think.
Samadhi, we focus on
Yes,
the
focus.
meditation object. So we have Samadhi, then we think about all
Yes,
this.
yes,
Vipassana, right?
Just observe aware the sensation.
That's Samadhi.
No, after getting the samadhi,
Uh-huh.
aware the sensation, obvious sensation.
Oh.
It can be pain or it can be anything. Hearing.
And
or,
understanding,
yeah.
and understand
then-
that it's
yeah.
arising, falling. That's Vipassana.
Yes.
Vipassana means observing with right understanding.
Oh, okay. It's not being aware. It's observing, knowing that all
Yes,
this pain is non-self,
Non-self,
arising.
yes. Generally,
That
That's
is-
Vipassana.
It will pass away.
Generally, we talk about just aware, just observe. But you cannot, if you do not understand the defects in the right way, you cannot be just aware, you cannot be just observe. Maybe you will have the observing with the eye, mind.
Because the pain arises when you think that pain is created through.
Yes,
You just observe.
Maybe
Signal react.
if pain arising, I will say just observe about the pain. But you cannot just observe about the pain. You take serious about the pain because you think pain is mind as real. So you cannot just observe it. To be just observing or to be just observing without attachment, we need previous understanding. And that is greater truth, that is impermanent nature, and that is physical nature, that is mental nature. We need to great understanding.
I think Teja Jina say the same thing. Teja Jina, mindfulness is not good enough. It's more-
Yes, he also teach mindfulness.
No, he say mindfulness is not good enough.
Mindfulness alone. Mindfulness alone is not enough. Yes, mindfulness should be with detachment.
With and right understanding.
And mindfulness should be with right understanding. Because mindfulness alone is
Just observing.
can be together with attachment.
Understanding.
Yes, ignorance.
So that's why we are studying all this first.
Yes.
So later we can understand.
Yes.
Right understanding.
Right understanding.
So later when we observe, we have right understanding, observation. Okay. Now I understand better. I thought Vipassana means be aware.
Yes, and the main is main is to practice the Vipassana.
Is to be aware of and
Aware
understand.
with the understanding
With
about there
understanding.
is no self, no I. In one retreat in Myanmar, in 3 days I only talk about the physical nature, mental nature. But I do not. I also teach about the impermanent nature, But in that, I discussed about physical nature and mental nature is not I, not self. But on that day, two Belgian people, honestly, they say me frankly, they don't want to validate anymore. Why? They are Christian people. They understand validation is good. But honestly, validation can do by every person. But for their religion, belief about their soul or self. After that, the soul can be the heaven. If you do good deeds, or if you believe the God, or if you did bad action, and the soul will go to the heaven. So, if I say to be mindful without the idea of self, or to be mindful with right understanding, there is no self, no I, no mind. So they cannot accept this truth. Because there is no I, mind, how can be the heaven, or how the concept of getting the heaven or getting the hell, or so that means to understand there is no self, nata. It is deep and how to say, we need some kind of belief in teaching. You can understand I is impermanent nature. We can understand physical nature and mental nature. But we make the equation I is equal to physical nature plus mental nature. So,
teaching. Aku jarang.
If I say like this, people can understand. Even the other religion also can understand, But I say there is no I, and there is only the physical nature and mental nature. Some cannot accept. So even some wise person, maybe even the scientist also and can understand that there inside the physical nature there is no entity, no substantial. They are just the quarks, energy. So there is no substantial or inner group or how to say entity in the physical nature. But they believe there will be the entity or self, that means essence in mental nature. So we need to understand there is no I, but only the physical and mental process.
But the physical nature has self from a biology standpoint.
Cells are dying, they're dying and new building. So even in our body,
It's non-self.
no, that's why.
It's arising and
Yeah. It already a few minutes ago, I and now is totally different. The thinking also same. We talking, even the reciting again, even though the same phrase, they're different also already, because rising one, past one, and new one is, even though the same thing talking, but they are different. That's why the mental process also no entity at all. That's why stream of consciousness, they say. Every consciousness, that is a process. There's
Yeah.
nothing is
No,
continuously.
it's not transferring.
Yeah,
It's just
yeah, yeah,
up,
yeah,
down,
yeah,
up,
yeah,
down.
yeah,
So it's
yeah,
a stream.
Yeah, stream, just like a water.
I read a book by Aya Kema. She's quite famous. She said that if you meditate enough, you can see the cell up, down, arise, die, arise, die.
Then power also. If concentration a lot, of course, this kind of
See,
thing.
if you meditate long
Meditate
enough,
long
you can
enough.
see your body is actually cell.
Vibration or something like that. That's what they say.
I can understand anatta intellectually.
Yeah, intellectually.
Now I can understand.
Yes,
But I
yes,
cannot
in fact,
experience it.
yes, in Vipassana can start. Only we can understand the anatta in intellectual level. If honestly, if you cannot understand the anatta in intellectual level, Vipassana cannot. Because although some we see the Vipassana and just observe, just to be mindful, but if we cannot stop the idea of self or entity, you cannot just observe truly.
Wrong understanding.
You will just observe with the idea of reality and you take serious, and you think that is my happening.
I think I read the example about the tree. The tree grow because a condition arise,
Yes,
temperature, right? But there's no eye in the tree. The tree
yes,
just grow.
yes,
If there's no water, it just dies.
yes,
That's
So,
anatta, right?
Yeah, yes.
Nobody,
yes,
nobody grow the tree.
yes. Physical nature also can grow, can
Condition,
develop
right?
without the self, but
Self, yeah.
but condition of the causes. On the same way, mental nature also, Piya and Despiya, without the soul, I, and that they are respective causes. I already discussed the causes of mental nature. So physical and mental nature will continue, will appear and disappear constantly without their soul or without their entity.
That's what they mean by non-self.
Non-self.
anatta, right?
Yes,
Huh?
yes. Even the some Buddhist people cannot understand how physical and mental nature continue without their soul, without their self. Some people cannot understand about their reincarnation or rebirth without the soul. Because the idea of rebirth or reincarnation is considering from the idea of soul or self. Soul is not existing. How can happen as a new one?
Cause and effect. Cannot explain by cause and effect.
So do people teach vipassana?
Sorry?
Do the teacher teach vipassana?
Teacher means me?
Or anyone
Oh yes.
teach people?
Yeah.
They will teach how to do vipassana. I know how to do samadhi. Maybe I see, right? I focus at samadhi, right?
Yeah. Vipassana, just after that, observe the sensation, and then not reacting and sense. The sensations comes and go.
That's all.
Yeah, it come and go, and then as long as you are not reacting, after that, for example, pain coming in, pain will go. So you will know pain is coming in, but you perceive as a pain. But you don't perceive as a pain. This is just it's a anatta. It will go, right? It will go. Oh, and then you realize that I can sit this time longer than last time.
And that's vipassana.
Yeah, of course, you already passed. This is the things coming out. Oh, last time I cannot sit because I grabbed. This is mine. I'm painful. I want to move. Now I don't let. I let go my thing. Relax. So the pain will go. So
when
this is a part of the process coming in.
when I go
Very
back,
simple way.
when I go back and meditate, when you go back Myanmar, when I continue, I will lie down. I will focus first. Then I will start thinking. Is it?
Not thinking, just aware.
I'm just aware.
Yes,
Aware, observe.
Yeah,
But
aware was up,
knowing that
but
the
not react.
pain-
Not react.
not react. The pain come and go.
Yeah,
come
not
and go.
react, and then this analyze. Analyze me is
Analyze is not thinking, right?
not thinking. Analyze me is
Observing,
observe. That you will get the wisdom. When analyzing time, you will get the
See
wisdom.
how difficult.
At the moment of thinking, just to be mindful about that thinking. Without that thinking, that is my thinking. Thinking should be thinking only, without the idea of I, mine. Just to be mindful means without attaching, without rejecting. Action should be action only, without the idea of I, mine. Seeing should be seeing only, without the idea of I, mine. Hearing should be hearing only, without the idea of I, mine. Thinking should be thinking only, without the idea of I, mine. So 6, smelling should be smelling only, without the idea of I, mine.
The 5 sensation is easier. Well, thinking is just preceding mind and following mind. Since a little bit complicated if you don't understand it.
What's the thinking? Preceding.
Preceding. The following mind is mindfulness mind.
Sensation là dấu tay của bên dài này.
Understand?
Amana duro tu bewo no mo no
So-
kwe lai do le.
Thinking is non-self because there's a preceding thinking, go up, finish, then a new one come.
Yeah, for example, you meditate, concentrate, right? Sometimes immediately pop up something coming in.
Yeah.
To me, is you don't intend to think,
Think, yes, correct.
but this is anatta. Just come
yes,
up, pop up.
yes.
As soon as that time, immediately that happened.
I'm
The second one is aware. Okay, I think something.
I know. I experienced this before.
Because of I think something, you know, that time the previous one is already disappeared.
Yes, aware and understand.
That's enough.
It's quite scary, you know. 'Cause I
That's how I
experienced
know.
this. It's quite scary because how can simply think? The mind simply think of many
Yes,
things
that
without control from me.
But you can
Yes,
follow.
yes.
You can follow.
Yeah.
You follow and then just follow. As long as you're knowing everything, after that subside, and then become empty.
No, I get
empty,
scared
Empty.
because how can I simply think?
Then just
Sometimes-
follow, and then know it. Know after that
Bad
disappear.
thinking, dirty thinking.
It's okay. Bad thinking also
It
just
just come out.
but it
Yes,
doesn't matter.
why you do not intend to be a bad thinking? Why bad thinking arise? Why?
Because I want good thinking.
Yeah, I already said
Because
that.
of the
Here,
cost.
causes. Maybe you past time you have the ignorance and attachment about that issue. So previous attachment and previous ignorance about that issue will cause the present bad thinking. Present bad thinking is not I, mine. It is just a conditional result of past ignorance. Not regret, that is my bad thinking. Just aware. So that is
result is the bad thinking. It arises from the past cause.
The bad thinking is not
Non-self.
personal one. Bad thinking is just a result of past ignorance or past attachment. That is not yours. You are just a conditional result of past ignorance or attachment. So that is following mind. You should have the right understanding and mindfulness. So you, if you have the right understanding and the following mind, you will not regret or you will not take serious about the past mind. Maybe you do not have the mindfulness and right understanding in the following mind. Maybe why I have the negative thinking? Why my mind should have the like the monkey?
Why I so bad?
Yeah. So you judge and then you become escalate and higher. As soon as you stop by mindfulness
Awareness
is actually
and
cutting the
yeah.
cutting your thought.
The train of thoughts.
Yeah. So you interrupt it.
That's why it become more peaceful. Otherwise it's worry.
Yeah.
Yeah. Last time I'm like that. When I sit, then I think of my work problem non-stop until 15 minutes. So much time caught in the thoughts.
Yes, the more attachment, the more emotional thought.
In and out. Because it's the mental
The more
in again, out.
the more ignorance about the truth, the more attachment. The more attachment, the more emotional thoughts.
And spiral. That's why suicide. That's why suicide. Suicide is because of that. You think that way also cannot. This way also cannot. That way also cannot. Oh, I must end my life. Because he only think these a few things. He has no way to think other things. That's why mental trap. You create the mental trap. You are home.
Because you are not aware it's a trap.
Yeah. It's a trap. We create ourselves.
You meditate? Or maybe 30 minutes?
Yeah.
Dia mà làm lại.
Làm mà vô là mấy sinh viên là làm
Maybe what you want welcome?
Probably new one will come 8:30. We just continue lah.
Sure, no problem.
Maybe
Do what is appropriate, I have no
so
problem.
maybe
You can share.
our discussion first,
Yeah,
so maybe
of
you
course.
can meditate.
I can listen.
And
No, I
just-
can learn.
Learn again and then
Revision.
revision is great.
Revision,
No problem.
yeah. Recall, I can take notes. No problem.
Before he coming, we were waiting.
No problem.
Meditation is trying to develop mindfulness and right understanding by using the breathing or seeing or hearing or smelling or tasting or touching or thinking or any action. We will not directly reject about the action, or we will not attach about the action, but we will use the action for the development of mindfulness and right understanding. Breathing is also the action. With the breathing, a lot of bodily function are happening. So to develop mindfulness, we are trying just to be aware, just to be mindful about the breathing or hearing or smelling or tasting or thinking or any action. Present results cannot arise by itself. Present action cannot arise by itself. They can arise depending on their respective condition. By understanding the respective condition of the present result, we can stop the idea of I did or you did or I, what I am or who I am. What I am or who I am is just the created truth. The present result is just the conditioned and impermanent nature of physical and mental entities regarding to the past process. The past process is also just the impermanent nature of ignorance, attachment, and karma. The action with wrong understanding and attachment will become the causes to produce the result in the future. So every moment we should be mindful with right understanding. Mindfulness with right understanding has the detachment power to cut off the process of conditional arising, conditional nature. For the mindfulness practice, you can read about the breathing. But to be the vipassana practice, although you are trying to be mindful about the breathing, you must abandon the idea of I, my, about the breathing or about the observing mind. You can observe about any object, but you think the observing mind is one mind or the same mind that is remaining along the timeline. That is ignorance. So you can observe, but we think that observing mind is the same mind that is remaining along the timeline. That is created truth. That is not reality. In real nature, in mental nature, there is not a single mind that is observing the object, but appearing and disappearing process of mindful mind, or the strength of mindfulness. The strength of mindfulness is not the observing mind or single mind that is remaining in some way, but appearing and disappearing. Process of awareness from moment to moment. At the moment of observing the pain, if we think the pain is remaining as the same one, remaining as the same thing, long that timeline, that is ignorance. That is illusion. Although you are observing about the pain, but you consider one mind is observing the pain, or one mindfulness is observing the pain. That mindfulness is remaining as the same mind. Long the timeline, that is ignorance. Mindfulness with ignorance is now vipassana. Mindfulness with ignorance will be the samatha, concentration, meditation. Generally, if we are mindful about the nimitta, the concentration object, we call samatha. Why? If we are mindful about the nimitta, concentration side, if we are mindful about the nimitta, concentration side, we call samatha. Why? Because most of the meditators consider concentration side is real, or that is the same one, the same thing, along that timeline. So that idea is ignorance. In real nature, in origination, there is not the same one, not the same mind, not the same arising along that timeline, but constantly appearing and disappearing of similar physical and mental energies. So be mindful with understanding about conditioned and impermanent nature. That is renewing and disappearing of physical and mental energies. Physical energy means fire, water, wind, and earth energies. Mental energy means consciousness, feeling, perception, and volition. Without physical or mental energies, you cannot remain as the same one. You cannot continue as the same one along the timeline, along the samsara. But you will be constantly appearing and disappearing from moment to moment. something or someone or personal one. But from the view of greater truth, you can see the present result is good one or bad one. What do you like or dislike? If you see only from the view of greater truth or subjective truth, that is not complete. That is not perfect. We are trying to see from the view of original truth. That is we call vipassana. That is trying to see from the view of real nature. Original truth or objective truth. If you see only from the view of subjective truth or greater truth, that is samatha or concentration meditation. If you can be mindful only from the view of subjective truth or greater truth, that is samatha or concentration meditation. But you can be mindful from the view of original truth or objective truth. That is seeing the reality as they are. We call vipassana, deep insight or deep analyzing about that truth. The present result is not arising by itself. The present result, the physical nature or mental nature is just the conditional result of past causes. Past causes is also not something or not the creation of someone, but the conditioning of ignorance, wrong understanding, attachment, and sankhara, habit action, volitional action. For the meditator, we should be mindful with right understanding the present result in the right way. Sometimes you can be mindful about the present causes as they are. The present causes is also not something, not someone, but wrong understanding or ignorance and attachment. Wrong understanding and attachment are present causes if we do not practice meditation. Wrong understanding and attachment to give the result at the present moment. And we cannot be mindful from the view of objective truth, from the view of original truth. Any present action will become the present causes to produce the results, suffering in future. Now you can feel pain. You may have the bad thoughts. That is the present moment happening. The preceding mind is the present result. But you can be mindful with right understanding about the preceding mind. That means the following mind should be mindfulness with right understanding. The following mind, if the following mind is mindfulness and right understanding, it is if the following mind is mindfulness and right understanding, it is cutting off the cycle of cause and effect. It is stopping the law of dependent origination. It is stopping the present causes. If we cannot be mindful with right understanding at the present moment result, it will produce wrong understanding and attachment at the present moment, and wrong understanding and attachment at the present moment will become the present causes to produce the result in the future. Be mindful with detachment. Be mindful without taking serious, without taking as self. To be detached and to have the right understanding, we should have the previous knowledge about what is physical nature, mental nature, and what are the causes of them, and how they can arise in intellectual level. So you can analyze in the right way of the present result and present causes. greater truth, original truth as original truth. The more wrong understanding as self. The more wrong understanding as self, I, mine. The more attachment. The more attachment, the more worry, the more misery. On the other hand, the more understanding about greater truth as greater truth, original truth as original truth, impermanent nature as impermanent nature, physical nature as physical nature, matter nature as matter nature, the more detachment power, the more detachment power, the more liberation, the more purification from impurities. So the more freedom, the more peaceful happiness. Action, we do not directly reject about the action. Action should be action only, without the ignorance and attachment. We do not directly reject about the thinking. Thinking should be thinking only, without the ignorance and attachment. Because action with ignorance and attachment begin the karma and you will lead the suffering or the result in the future. Action with greed, anger, ignorance are leading to the result in the future. That is suffering. That is impermanent nature. By action with non-greed, non-anger, non-ignorance will lead to the end of suffering. As we action with right understanding and right mindfulness regarding to the truth, will lead to the end of suffering. Will get off the cause and effect process. Meditation is not just focusing on one object. Meditation is not just focusing on different objects. Meditation is not just for concentrated mind, but understanding any action or any result or any focusing is not personal one, but they are just conditional impermanent nature, varying and disvarying nature of physical and mental phenomena. Be mindful with detachment. Be mindful without taking serious. Taking serious mind is attaching mind. Equanimous mind can arise depending on right understanding mind. Attaching mind cannot cause equanimity, but urgency mind, taking serious mind. Even the learning, the practicing meditation should be practicing only, learning only, without attachment, without thinking as I, my, or my practice. what is meditation, and we cultivate. We need to develop.
Detachment.
Yeah.
Detachment.
So, can you remember what are the three qualities we need to cultivate?
Morality,
Concentration,
wisdom.
wisdom. Yes. Morality means not to harm to others living beings, because we are trying to be free from suffering. So we should not cause suffering. So in the meditation practice, in the sitting posture, we do not harm to others living beings. So we will not talk about the morality. But I need to talk about the mindfulness and right understanding. Right understanding means wisdom. So by developing the mindfulness and wisdom or right understanding, what is our main intention? So what is the benefits of mindfulness and right understanding? So yesterday we discussed about the origin of suffering. By development of mindfulness and right understanding, we can stop the causes of suffering, the origin of suffering. So can you remember what are the causes of suffering? Origin of suffering?
Greed, anger, ignorance.
Yes. Greed, anger, and ignorance. Greed and anger means attachment. If you have strong hatred, strong animosity to someone, that is anger. That is one kind of attachment, of disliking. And you have craving about the sensual pleasure, you have craving about the food, about the song, music, that is also one kind of attachment. So attachment and ignorance, and that means greed, anger, ignorance are origin of suffering. So by development of mindfulness and right understanding, we can reduce and stop the wrong understanding and attachment. That means greed, anger, ignorance, we can stop, we can reduce. For the mindfulness practice, we make the specific time to be mindful of the breathing. But for more practical practice, we should be mindful not only at a specific time, sitting posture, but also in daily activities, at the moment of hearing, smelling, eating, touching, thinking. We should be mindful. We should be mindful, seeing as seeing, hearing as hearing, smelling as smelling, touching as touching, thinking as thinking. But we should not rest. That is I, mind. So to develop the mindfulness, we should just be aware at the present moment. But to have the right understanding, we need to understand the truth of not I, not belonging. I, mine, or personal belonging is just a concept of created truth. The reality is just a changing process, changing nature of physical and mental phenomena. So that is right understanding or wisdom. But to have the wisdom, we need more analyzing about what is physical nature, physical phenomena. What is mental nature and what is mental phenomena. I little bit discuss about what is physical nature and what is mental nature. Because to have the wisdom, to have the right understanding, we need to have the right understanding about the physical nature as physical nature. In fact, physical nature is physical nature. In school day we learn about the chemistry, physics. That is learning about the physical nature. Maybe in physics, modern physics, we learn about the energies, electron, proton, neutrons. They are just nature. They are not personal belonging. They are just the natural phenomenon, natural process. They are not religion. They are not personal one. But people do not understand natural process as natural process. We think that is I, mine. So we have strong attachment about their nature. So we need to understand physical nature as physical nature. We learn about chemistry, physics is about the physical nature. But here we do not go analyzing like the modern physics. But we need to understand four kinds of nature as physical nature. What are physical nature? We need to understand. So can you remember? We start here. What are the physical nature?
What is the physical nature?
Physical nature?
Senses.
No.
No, this?
Oh, there's mental process.
Physical nature means?
Four elements.
For the
four elements.
combination of
Yes.
the four elements of wind,
Fire, water, wind, earth.
Just create
Nature, physical nature.
physical nature.
Fire nature, water nature, wind nature, earth nature. So four nature are physical nature. Fire nature does not directly refer to the flames. Fire nature means just the quality about the hotness or coolness. On the same way, earth nature does not directly refer to the ground. Earth nature means the quality of hardness or softness, tightness or looseness. On the same way, water nature does not directly refer to the wind blowing.
Water nature.
Wind nature does not directly refer to the wind blowing. Wind nature means the quality of movement or stainless or obviously repulsion, attraction. They are just the quality of wind nature. The breathing, our abdomen is rising, falling from moment to moment. That is the process of wind nature. Water nature does not directly refer to the water, but it is just the quality of cohesiveness or stickiness. Now, water is a physical nature. Physical nature has no consciousness, no feeling. Maybe I get this water or I throw away this water, it will not complain. Because it has no consciousness, no perception, no feeling about any reacting on physical nature. So physical nature, then water is just a combination of four energies, four elements, four nature, fire, water, wind, earth. But water nature is dominant than the other's nature, so it becomes the liquid form. Maybe I put into the refrigerator, it will change to the solid form. That means become hot. So that is hardness appear. So that means our nature is dominant than the other element in very low temperature. So every physical nature is just a combination of four elements, four nature. Maybe even the iron rod also combination of four elements, four nature. Maybe I heat with high temperature or the iron rod, it melts down. So that means it changes to the liquid form. So how liquid come? So liquid does not come from somewhere, but that intrinsic nature is the combination of four nature. Fire nature is fire nature. It is not I, my. Fire nature is just fire nature. Water nature is also water nature. It is not I, mine, or personal one. Our nature, so fire or water or wind or earth are just their nature, natural phenomena. They are not personal belonging. They are not I, mine. But you can label that is something, that is human, that is table, that is water, that is milk, that is coconut, that is rice, that is vegetable. But from a view of reality, they are just a combination of four elements, four nature. So meditation is trying to see from a view of objective truth. And it is changing from primary school to the university. In primary school, we learn about that is orange, that is tree, that is car, that is human, that is cat, that is dog. But in university, we learn about the modern physics. In physics, we do not learn about the someone or something, but we learn about the electron, proton, quarks, energies. That is more analyzing about the something. Or the same way, subjective truth, we learn about that is tree, that is human, that is animal, that is water, and that is milk. But from a view of objective truth, they are just a combination of four elements, four nature. So that is wisdom practice, or right understanding practice, about the physical nature. Even the so-called our body is just a combination of four elements, four nature. Fire, water, wind, and earth nature. Fire nature is fire nature. Water nature is water nature. Wind nature is wind nature. They are changing. They are processing regarding to their respective condition. We cannot have the complete control about them. For example, the breathing is happening naturally. Circulation, heart beating, digestion, excretion, metabolism of our body are happening naturally, depending on their condition. We cannot say not to breathe, not to circulation. They will continue, depending on their respective causes. We eat every day the rice or vegetables without the inputting the nutrients. The process of our body will break down. So that process is not happening depending on one's own desire, but the condition are supporting this process can continue. The weather is too cold or too hot, and our body process can break down, cannot continue. So the respective condition, temperature, weather, nutrients are supporting in our bodily process. Although we say that is my body or your body, but they do not follow as your desire. We are growing old or aging from time to time. Finally, we will die one day. We cannot say not to be dead, because they are not personal belonging. They are just a natural process, natural phenomenon of full nature. So that means in school, in primary school, we learn about that is tree, that is human, and that is animal. But in modern physics, they are just the energy chaining, just a natural process, natural phenomenon. In meditation practice, we will try to see not only from the view of subjective truth, but also from the view of objective truth, that is real truth. Objective truth is not always true.
Objective truth.
Subjective truth is not always true. you will change regarding to time or situation. And later I will use the term is created truth. Subjective truth is created truth. Created truth means there is no real for all time. You will change. You will not be true anymore if situation change. Now I'm a teacher. Teacher is subjective truth. At the moment of teaching and my student, maybe I am honestly I'm traveling with a train. I'm not a teacher. I will be a traveler. Maybe at the moment of meeting with my mother, I will be a son. I'm not a teacher for her. Maybe if I meet my friend or my teacher, maybe if I see my teacher, I will be a student of him. So, what I'm teacher cannot be always true in every present moment. It will be changed according to situation. So subjective truth or created truth is not always true. It will change according to time or situation. Now this phone is mine. But at the moment of manufacturing from the factory, it is not mine. But after exchanging this money and this phone with my money, after getting in my hand, my mind create that is mine. So mine is not original truth, not objective truth. Maybe someone steal my phone. Maybe I cannot get it back. My phone will be his. Even the flowing in my blood, the blood flowing in my body is not real my blood. Maybe in one accident, one patient needs blood. Maybe if blood type is same with the patient, maybe I will donate my blood to the patient. Maybe after take out my blood and dripping my blood into the patient body. After entering my blood into the patient body, my blood cannot remain as my blood in his body. Maybe my blood will change as his blood and do the bodily function as his blood. So even my blood or even my deeds cannot be forever as my deeds. They will change according to situation. So mine is not always true. They will change according to time or situation. So what will change according to time or situation should not be regarded as reality. But we can say that is created truth or subjective truth. Can you understand? From the view of
we cannot rely because of we are not real.
we are not real all the time.
What is the objective? Is that
Oh, really true. Yeah, just now the material for elements, right?
Yes, there is
Properties.
because even
maybe
they are changing?
even the religion, even the nationality cannot be forever. Maybe some people migrate in Singapore, so now they are Singaporean. So even the religion, if you do not accept, you can change. But you cannot change the nature or the process of four elements. Whatever your religion, whatever your nationality, whatever your education, the bodily process, maybe these changing process of four elements will be always true. We can change our name, we can change our job, we can change our nationality, we can change our religion according to the situation. But we cannot stop or we cannot change about the changing process of four elements.
But it is also changing, as you said. The water becomes ice,
Yes.
and it becomes vapor. So even
Yes.
the elements are changing. So are they the objective truth then? Because even they are not permanent.
Yes, the changing process of physical nature. How do you say? Water is
They are changing in the form, but their property will not change. What change? How shall I say?
change.
But the nature will
The
not change.
nature?
Nature will not change. The nature will stay there.
But if that water becomes ice, its nature
Yes,
changes.
how do you say?
Condition.
If it is conditional, then it is subjective.
For example, the lemon has the sour taste. That taste is not permanent. That how do you say? In any time that lemon has the sour taste. On the same way, the fire nature has hotness or coldness. So the fire nature will be always true.
No, I understand that. So the nature of fire will always remain hot or cold.
Yes.
But fire itself can change into something else.
Yes.
So the nature depends on the nature of that matter depends on its state that time, right? I mean, if it is a ice or if it is liquid water. So its nature as water is universal, but that water itself is not permanent.
Stay permanent. Only thing is calling
Yes,
the state. State only is different. State is a different state.
But if you change the state, the nature also changes.
No, you can recover back.
No, of course. I'm not saying it cannot recover, but I'm just saying there is also some impermanence there. So for me, objective truth will be which is true in every condition, in every form.
Yes.
So that is what I'm not trying. I'm unable to
Yeah,
understand.
I understand. I understand your point.
Or what?
Because
for the fire nature, it will have the characteristic. Characteristic means if fire nature is more than the other's nature, maybe its nature becomes hot. Fire nature is less than the other's nature, it becomes cool. So fire nature has the quality or characteristic about hotness or coolness. So fire nature having the characteristic of hotness, coolness will be always true.
so that
What?
that subjective truth has an objective truth, but the objective truth has still some element of subjectivity. For example, let's say I have $1 and I have $1 Singapore dollar. So $1 is permanent in its value right now. Let's say it is that nature, but it can change into Singapore dollar and then it becomes something else, and you can change it again into US dollar. So that nature, when it is in that state, is permanent, but the state itself is not permanent. So it's saying like today what is happening is it's the state. I mean, let's say today Singapore exists, so it has a truth to it, but Singapore itself is not permanent. It was not there 500 years ago. So that's where I'm getting confused, because the nature nature is again
Yes,
conditional upon
yes,
the situation.
I